entrepreneurs to show up big and connect with their people. Today is Tuesday. On Tuesday, we talk about being organized as an entrepreneur and being a boss. And so I have a way that I'm approaching being organized that I don't know. You may find it helpful or you may not, but I think it's at least entertaining to learn about it. Okay. So I've had a ton of training on, organization, time management, productivity, all this kind of stuff. I spent like thousands of dollars on this stuff, right? And it all works in a moment, like with me, maybe it's just me. It works in a moment, right? So you'll be all gun ho and fired up and you'll have your little to-do list and you'll be checking things off. Okay. And that's great. But I find for myself, I work best when I'm in tune with my energy and my energy level. Right. So if I have a list that says, okay, here's all the things that I need to do. And my energy level is not where it needs to be to do those things, then guess what I do? Nothing. So what I found is that what's best for me, and maybe it'll work for you, I don't know, is to focus my active plan based on my energy level and then execute in those moments for the things that make the most sense, right? So what I came up with, and this is super simple. This is so simple that anybody can do this. But I think that if you will adopt this approach, you will find yourself being much more productive. Because at the end of the day, what we always want to do is make progress, meaning we want to move forward. And if we get to a point where it's just too overwhelming or it's not making sense for you and you stop making progress, then that's a problem, right? So what I say is, if you're trying to be organized, then F it. And so the F stands for frogs, fire, functional, and really F it. So what you do is you're doing your planning. Siri, I swear, is like really spying on me. So what you do, this technique, what you want to do is take a piece of paper. This is super simple. You techie people might not like this too much. This process assumes that you already at a high level understand what you need to focus on, and you've done some planning, and maybe you've got some goals and some things you want to accomplish during the week. Like, some things you need to do. They're all swirling around in your head. Maybe they're in a planner or on a piece of paper or in some app. And so this is more about understanding your energy level. So sometimes of the day you're really focused and you're really can give attention to some things. Like, you really feel like you're in that zone. Other times of the day, or it may not even be a day, it may be during the week. This process, I think, is most appropriate at a week level, not a day level, right? But some days you might feel like, you just can't focus for whatever reason. Maybe you got something on your mind, something's going on with the family, it's back to school, you got bills, whatever it is. You may not feel like you can really focus. Some things you have kind of whirling around in your mind because someone asked you to, do something for them, or someone wants you to come to an event or something like that is going on, or you're not quite sure, but you want to do the right thing. And so it's kind of swirling around in your head and you haven't really thought about it. You just have like a whole bunch of stuff that you need to do, let's say this week. So what you do, you take a sheet of paper. This is really super simple. You might be mad how simple it is. And you put a grid on it, right? Expect your grid. So in the upper left hand, and on the upper left hand corner, we're gonna write the frogs, right? The frogs are, and I got this from Brian Tracy, actually, is where I first heard the reference to eat that frog, do that first thing in the morning. And the frog is that thing that you really don't want to do. You really need to do it. It's important that you do it, but you're just like, oh my God, I hate this. Like, some people may place exercise in that category. Okay. So, but the frogs are the things that they're really important. Like, you really need to get them done this week. No matter what else happens, you need to get the frogs done. So you put them in this first box. So maybe that's, file tax returns, file your tax return, submit a grant. Maybe you need to submit a grant application or something like that. Okay. The second square here. Just put, we call it fire, or these are things that you fired up about, right? These are the things that you need to do them and you love to do them. Okay, you love to do them. But the thing about the things that are you're fired up about is they're not necessarily the most important things. They're not necessarily even the things that are required. These are the things you probably could push them off until next week, but you really just really like doing that stuff. And so you know they're the things that when you really should be working on the frog stuff, you working on the fired up stuff, right? And so those things, the fired up things, you put them, this, you do this once a week, you put the fired up things in here. So, I need to do some graphic design. I love that. I could spend hours on that stuff. Or maybe you need to, write, make some kind of social media content, right? I can really get caught up in some social media content. Okay, making that stuff, that's fun. I want to do that all day long, right? All day long I'm going to do that. And then the third one is this functional stuff. Okay, functional things are things that you need to do them. They need to be done. They're not the most exciting things to do in the world, but you need to do them every single day. Think your daily method of operation. If you're, as an entrepreneur, every day you need to be doing something to promote sales, to sell for your business, right? So that may be reaching out to people. That may be sending follow-up information. That may be, scheduling appointments. That stuff is like, okay, I need to do that every single day. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but those are the things that go here. So you could say here, reach outs on LinkedIn. Okay. This is to keep your pipeline full. Okay. Those types of things you put in here. And then finally is the effort. The effort, it spells fit. That's kind of interesting. But the effort square, that's the one where you just go, you know what? Okay, yeah, I would like to do that, but I really don't need to do that this week. In fact, I don't even need to do that this month. As a matter of fact, why am I even doing this? That stuff, as you're going through the process of taking all the things that are swirling in your mind that you need to do, that process allows you to really think through the stuff that somebody threw at you and say, hey, we need to do this. And you're like, wait a minute, I don't really need to do that this week. I can do that next week. Those things go into your effort square. Okay. And then as you, depending on how you're feeling in the moment, in terms of energy level, you're always focused on the frogs. You're always focused on the frogs. So you start with the frogs no matter what. Frogs are number one. But if you feel like you're at a point where you are not as productive as you need to be, you're just not, it's just your energy's not at a level where this is working for you. You need to take a break. Instead of going on social media, instead of, getting on the phone, talking to somebody who's not doing anything, then just go to your list and pick something that you fired up about and work on that. Set a timer and work on that for 15 minutes or so. And then come back to your frog. Or say it's like, oh, you know what? I don't really have anything. I don't really want to work on this thing that's fun because I don't want to get caught up in it today because I really want to work on that and I don't want to do this. Then flip to your functional stuff. You're tired. Functional is good like after midnight. If you're working after midnight, functional, do that stuff, right? Because social media allows you to do those types of things at all hours of the night, right? And then the effort stuff, you just don't even worry about those. You just cross them off and don't even think about doing them. Okay. If you want to be polite, you call and let the person know, hey, I can't do it. But at the end of the day, that stuff is not going to progress your business. It's not going to move you forward. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. The using the F words to be more productive in your business with the F grid. And you do your frogs, the things you're fired up about, the functional items, and the things where you just go, F it. Okay. And then you manage your work according to your energy level, not the to-do list, not the big plan, not someone else's attention, but to your energy level. And then you get more done. So I hope that was helpful for you. If it's helpful, then definitely share the video. I love when people share my videos. If you tell me what you think about this process, do you think that, try it out and come back and say, yeah, I tried that. It really helped me to get more done this week. And maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I tell you what, we have to find a way that we can work because nothing stops moving, right? Everything is always moving. And if you're always working on things that are not moving you forward, then you're not going to progress. And we don't want that. We want to always be progressing and moving forward. So again, thank you for watching, and go ahead and comment below what you thought about this. And I'll talk to you next time on Lunch with Jill. Bye for now.